بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد باب ما جاء في خلق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الحمد لله وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. قال الشيخ الحافظ أبو عيسى محمد بن عيسى بن سورة الترمذي أخبرنا أبو رجاء قتيبة بن سعيد عن مالك بن أنس عن ربيعة ابن أبي عبد الرحمن عن نفس بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه سمعه يقول كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس بالطويل البائن ولا بالقصير ولا بالأبيض الأمهق ولا بالآدم ولا بالجعد القطط ولا بالسبط. بعثه الله تعالى على رأس 40 سنة فأقام بمكة 10 سنين وبالمدينة 10 سنين فتوفاه الله تعالى على رأس 60 سنة وليس في رأسه ولحيته 20 شعرة بيضاء أو كما قال. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrated, this is the first chapter of Shama'il al-Tirmidhi. Imam al-Tirmidhi rahmatullah alayhi, one of the great Imam and one of the great Muhaddis, his book al-Tirmidhi comes number 4 into the Sihah Sitta after Bukhari Sharif, Muslim Sharif, Abu Dawud Sharif and then Tirmidhi Sharif. And he has compiled this inner and outer description of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and it is ma'mur amongst the ulama, amongst believers from centuries that they go through this book. So he has brought the first chapter about the description of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the first riwayat after glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and after sending salutation on Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and on to all chosen people. Imam al-Tirmidhi rahmatullah alayhi said that Abu Raja informed us Qutayba ibn Sa'id from Malik ibn Anas, and he narrated from Rabi'a ibn Abi Abd al-Rahman. We'll translate the hadith sharif first. And he had narrated from Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was heard saying that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was neither extreme tall and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was neither short. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was not extreme white and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was not very full of brown color. In between the two, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had not extreme curly hair and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not have extreme straight hair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had sent him as a messenger. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made him messenger, prophet, Rasul when he was at the age of 40. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had stationed in Makkah Mukarramah for 10 years after becoming prophet, according to this riwayat, and in Medina Munawwara 10 years. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was given death by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he was at the age of 60. And into the head Mubarak of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and into the beard Mubarak of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, there was not even 20 white hair. This whole riwayat, I'm going through translation again. Anas radiyallahu ta'ala who said that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, try to remember every hadith sharif. One of the Arabic shair said that if you miss seeing Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam by your eyes, if you miss seeing Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam by your eyes, here is his inner and outer description. Go through these ahadith sharifa and you will not miss him. You will see Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You will see Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So now, first hadith sharif, we are borrowing the camera of Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And in this hadith sharif, Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said only few sentences. Very easily everyone can remember. And that's how your knowledge will grow about the description of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And may Allah make us such that we remain drowned in these ahadith sharifa, expecting and anticipating that one day it will be our Eid. It will be our Eid that we will see and sight Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our dream. And that will make us over the moon. And these ahadith sharifa, they are very easy, very easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that deadly wish and love that, oh Allah, we want to know how your Nabi sallallahu look like. We are going through these riwayat because one day you will treat us by having him in our vision, in our dream. Who doesn't want to have that dream? Who doesn't have that desire? That desire, it's a sign of iman. That desire, it's a very, very, very noble desire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that desire. That sahabi came, the majlis of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam going on, and that sahabi came, and initial coming of him made sahaba upset. They were angry. Sahaba were angry. They were about to react. They became, out of control. Why? Because he was a Bedouin. He was from the countryside. Sometimes people from the small villages, they don't know etiquettes of approaching people. They will just call him out. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us, Imani and Islami and Quran and Sunnah's manners. May Allah subhanahu. So Sahaba, this Sahabi comes and he was a Bedouin. And as he comes and the way he approached Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every Sahabi, because they were dead into the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he comes, and when he came, his initial coming and arrival was upsetting Sahaba. They all became angry. But when he came, and when he had conversation between himself and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said one sentence, and that one sentence became the matter of rejoicing for every Sahabi for their whole life. One sentence. That Sahabi comes, and he started calling out from outside, Ya Muhammad. Sahaba sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sahaba never used to call Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why, some of the ulama, they have even written that we shouldn't call him by his name. We are not worthy to call him by his name. We should call him Rasulullah. We should call him Habibullah. We should call him, Khairul Bariyah. We should call him Rahmatul lil Alameen. And there are Taha, and there are so many names of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You go to Masjid Nabawi, his names are written. So many names. So may Allah subhanahu, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call him, Ya ayyuhal muddathir. So Sahaba, they will not call him in a hurry, Ya Muhammad. And this Bedouin comes and he said, Ya Muhammad. So every Sahabi, they didn't say anything, but their sentiments were saying that, as if we were going to go and hold him. That, why are you disrespecting our Habib? Why are you calling him like that? He came, and that riwayat we may have heard many times, that he was asking Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and at the end he said that I don't have very many salats, and I don't have very many fasting, and I don't have very many umrahs and hajj. I'm just trying to interpret his sentiments. I don't have that, but one thing, Ya Rasulullah, I love you the most. I love you the most. So what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, person will be with that person whom he loves. Person will be with that person whom he loves. So all the Sahaba, I was trying to describe initial coming of him, and then they all felt like, hey, you made our day. You made our life. Because of you, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam issued such certificate that if we don't get nothing, if we get companionship of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam into hereafter, that is our Jannah. That is everything for us. That is like our success. So that Sahabi, after the conversation, when he said that, Ya Rasulullah, I love you the most, I have so much of love of yours. So Nabi Sallallahu said, Al-mar'u ma'aman ahabba. Person will be with that person whom he loves. When Nabi Sallallahu said this Sahabi, when he came, for him, everybody, he was the angle of anger. And now he became angle of love. That, hey, your coming made our day. Your coming issued such certificate by Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is what we are looking forward to. And if we are a true believer, what Sahaba were looking forward to, that should we do. We should do. We are looking forward to that. We are looking forward to that. As soon as we will arrive into our grave, oh Allah, make us arrive in our grave with Iman. And if we arrive with Iman, then one little glimpse of Nabi Sallallahu for 1 second, this whole worldly life will be nothing compared to that Eid, that happiness, that joy. No, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that love. And for that we should make some strive. We should strive. We should make some effort. That we shouldn't indulge our day and night into meaningless things, into useless things. We should know Nabi Sallallahu the most into the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'm just going to translate this hadith sharif, and inshallah whatever we can go through the explanation or commentary. The Anas radiyallahu ta'ala said, first sentence that Nabi Sallallahu was not extreme tall and Nabi Sallallahu was not short. Nabi Sallallahu was not extreme white and Nabi Sallallahu was not very dark brown. Nabi Sallallahu was not, will come to this sentence. And Nabi Sallallahu did not have very extreme curly hair and Nabi Sallallahu did not have extreme straight hair. And then he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him as Rasul, as messenger, as prophet when he was 40, and he lived in Makkah Mukarramah after that for 10 years and in Medina 10 years, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him death when he was 60, and into the head Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu and into the beard Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu, there was not even 20 white hair. This is the hadith sharif. First sentence we have done, that Nabi Sallallahu was not extreme tall and he was neither short. And then we did that bit that it is being narrated into the riwayat. It will come that whenever Nabi Sallallahu will be into the crowd, into the jamaat of Sahaba, then from far Nabi Sallallahu will appear tallest amongst them. So it does not mean that he was very tall. He was taller than every Sahabi. Ulama have narrated that was the miracle of Nabi Sallallahu. That was the miracle of Nabi Sallallahu. Why? This one fundamental point you must remember. On this earth, nobody has set foot who was more beautiful than my Habib and your Habib Sallallahu. Who was more intelligent than my Habib and your Habib Sallallahu. Who was more powerful physically than my Habib and your Habib Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who was most kind, most merciful, most generous. Any good instinct, you name it, any good quality, you name it, any good quality, you name it. If one person was sailing the whole mankind, that is Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is our Iman. That is our Iman. He was the most handsome. He was the most strongest person. He was the most bravest person. He was the most generous person. He was the most intelligent person. He had the greatest wisdom of all times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had granted him. That is our Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is our Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this, this first sentence and that miracle of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam indicates that he will not have only characteristics, beauty. He will have physical beauty. He will not have, inshallah, we will come to have some evidence. But the Shariat he brought and Sirat he possessed, they both are matching. His Shariat is most perfect, and his feature and his Sirat and his description is also most perfect. His Shariat is also most beautiful amongst all the Sharai, the way he was physically handsomest person of all mankind. So, it has relation in between the two. What he brought as his message and what he possessed as we learned many times before, that we have two Quran. One Quran in practice, that is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and one Quran in a textual form, that is this Quran. What does Quran say? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. Or what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed? This Quran said it. So, his feature and his Shariat and his Quran and his teaching, they have relation in between. So this first sentence, that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not extreme tall and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not very short. So he was having the middle height. He was having the middle height. Although he had middle height, but if he will be amongst the crowd, then from the far, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam will appear from very far than anybody else. And one will conclude that he is the tallest. He was not the tallest. That is the miracle Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given it to him. Second sentence, wala bil abyadil amhaq wala bil adam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not extreme white. If some person has that whiteness on his face, on his skin, and that is very extreme white. And on the other hand, if person has whiteness, but in that whiteness, that brownness is also being added, then that person will appear like red, in between the red and white. In between the red and white. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's beauty of the color was the mix of this, that he was not extreme white and he was not extreme brown. That brownness was added into his whiteness. That's why, he will shine. Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala used to say that qamarul afaqi tatlu'u ba'da al-layl. Qamarul afaqi tatlu'u ba'da al-layl wa shamsi tatlu'u fi an-nahar. Or other way around. Shamsul afaqi tatlu'u ba'da al-fajr wa shamsi tatlu'u ba'da al-layl. That your sun, which is rising and which is shining, which shines after day breaks, after day starts. But my sun shines and it brings brightness into my house during the night. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she is describing beauty of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that my sun rises when your sun sets. Your sun rises during the day and my sun rises during the night. When he comes into my room, into my house, then my sun is rising. So much so, in some of the riwayat, it is being mentioned that Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala says that if I had lost needle in my house, then when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam will come, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made him so beautiful. Under the light of his beauty, I will look for my needle. So, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam's color is being mentioned, that he was not extreme white and he was not extreme browny. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, wala bil ja'dil qatad, wala bis sabt, wala bis sabt. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was not having hair extreme curly and extreme straight. If somebody has very, very curly hair, that reduces the beauty. And if someone has very, very straight hair, that is also reduces the beauty. If someone has in between the two, that curly also and straight also. Straight also and curly also. If these two things come together, then that adds the beauty into the hair. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was having, curly hair also, but not extreme curly. And he was having straight hair also, but not very extreme hair. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's hair was curly also and straight also. So, between the curliness and between the straightness, there was the quality of the hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And it was adding, the beauty for the hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, according to different people, they are still found. See, Talha radiallahu ta'ala, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was performing Hajjatul Wada. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was performing Hajjatul Wada. And this comes into the Sahih and sound Hadith Sharif. And that suggests that there is possibility that there are people and there are places where hairs Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they are being preserved. They are being preserved. If we don't know authentic narration that someone showing you hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and if he doesn't have an unbroken narration from himself to Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then it will be safer to stay silent. It will be safer to stay silent. But what I was trying to share, that when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam performed Hajjatul Wada, and after Hajj was over, and when the time of Halaq came, we remember that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made 2 times dua for al-muhalliqun. And the 3rd time, someone asked that al-muqassirun, those who make qasr. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made dua that may Allah have mercy on them. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Allah have mercy on those who do halaq. Allah have mercy on those who do halaq. And someone asked that, well, Ya Rasulullah, if someone do qasr, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Allah have mercy on. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when it comes to distribute mercy of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, He will never avoid anybody. Nobody was devoided. But He encouraged that when we go and perform Hajj, then we should do halaq. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, name of Sahabi comes that he did halaq of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Talha radiallahu ta'ala, became shield onto the day of Uhud. And he became such a shield. And when we talk of shield, every day they are trying to deteriorate mizaj and mission and message of Quran and Sunnah and revelation. And let us make dua that, oh Allah, you accepted Talha to make shield for Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from his sadaqah, from his wasila. Oh Allah, accept us and our progeny, that we become shield for the message of your Habib Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, for revelation. Talha, he treated himself into the danger, so much so that one of his hand had become shell. It was not usable after that. So many arrows, he took it onto himself. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's life was in danger, but he became wall, he became shield, and he was trying to protect, and he harmed himself so much. Now, the real in'am will be given by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala on the day of judgment. But what is this in'am? It is not any lesser in'am. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam performed Hajjatul Wada, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had haircut. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam called Hazrat Talha radiallahu ta'ala, and from one side, half of the head Mubarak was shaved, and then the half of the head Mubarak was shaved. Talha was so fortunate that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that half of the head Mubarak, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, distribute my hair among the Sahaba. So hair Mubarak were distributed in between the Sahaba Ridwanullahi Ta'ala Ajma'in. That is one of the safest, soundest Hadith Sharif that hair Mubarak, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to preserve, and they were going to continue till the day of Qiyamah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq, or may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us opportunity that one day we standing in front of the hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we say to Allah that, oh Allah, today you gave me this opportunity that I am seeing one part from the body Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Oh Allah, you did that mercy to me, or you did treat me in this manner. Make me see that whole Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Maybe because of the sadaqah of that hair Mubarak, one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us vision of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, dream of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So half head Mubarak was shaved, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam instructed Hazrat Talha radiallahu ta'ala to distribute amongst the all Sahaba. And half of the head Mubarak, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave all of them to Hazrat Talha radiallahu ta'ala. What a reward, what an inam, what a treatment from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You know, one hair, it will be no exaggeration. One hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it is better than this whole dunya. One hair Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it is better than this whole dunya. And there comes, you know, Shaykh Yunus rahmatullah alayhi, he used to connect it to Hassan ibn Sabit radiyallahu ta'ala. He used to say, lahu himamun la muntaha li kibariha wa himmatuhu sughra ajallu min ad-dahri. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being praised. And if it is the share of Hassan ibn Sabit, then Hassan ibn Sabit radiyallahu ta'ala said. If it is somebody else's share, you know, I was there by Aqdami Aliyah, where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's feet Mubarak, you know, if you go to Masjid Nabawi, you know, make some effort and try to go by Aqdami Aliyah. You know, the site where feet Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam comes. It is, you know, the common practice of our Akabir, that they spend good time into Aqdami Aliyah. When we started the sabak, we shared that Hazrat Maulana Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah, you know, the Shama'il al-Tirmidhi with the commentary of Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah. Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah, he used to sit by the Jali Mubarak at that side where Aqdami Aliyah are. At that side, he used to sit every day 8 hours. 8 hours holding the Jali Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to only cry. He used to only cry. He used to only cry. That's why I say that to become millionaire is very easy. But Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah became millionaire of Quran and Hadith Sharif. Why? Because he used to sit by the Jali Mubarak of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam every day 8 hours. And he used to cry. He used to cry. Cry and cry only. He used to weep and cry, nothing else. And you know, what type of connection Allah may have given it to him between himself and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Hazrat Sheikhul Islam Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madni Rahmatullah alayhi, he writes later, someone was going to Makkah Mukarramah, Madinah Munawwara for Hajj. You know, when we go for Makkah Mukarramah, Madinah Munawwara for Hajj and Umrah, we should go to someone whose battery is charged with the love of Makkah Mukarramah and Madinah Munawwara. We go to him and we sit down with him for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, and charge our battery, and then go to Makkah Mukarramah and Madinah Munawwara. Then your going to Makkah Mukarramah and Madinah Munawwara will be different. So someone was going for Hajj, and he wrote later to Sheikhul Islam, Hazrat Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madni Rahmatullah alayhi. So, long letter, but in that letter he wrote this very, very good paragraph. He said, you know, when you go to read Salatu Salam onto Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you are in front of the greatest distribution center of hidayat, divinity, revelation, wahi, goodness and betterment. I'm just trying to translate his words. You are in front of him. So he said, you know, talk to Allah and say that you are in front of the greatest ever distribution center. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made him and selected him as a distribution center for goodness, for betterment, for revelation, for Quran, for Sunnah. So you are in front of him, and you know, the way, you know, sun rises and rays comes out from the sun, and wherever that rays goes, you know, it makes that place full of light. Exactly on the same way, this is the sun of Nubuwwat. This is the sun of Nubuwwat, and it is still shining. It is our Aqidah. Hayatul Nabiyyi fi qabrihi. It is still shining. If you go there with the alive heart, then rays will fall on you and you will not return empty. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us return. Some people, they return with virtues, with rewards, with nakis, with some good deeds. And some people, they return like Shah Waliullah rahmatullah alayhi. He has written book, Fuyudul Haramain. What he went there and what he achieved, he kept on writing for the whole of his life. And he said, that is what I had received from there. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Sheikh Zakaria rahmatullah used to hold Jali Mubarak of the Aqdami Aliyah for 8 hours, and he used to cry, and he used to cry. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him such that Sheikh Zakaria rahmatullah name also will remain till the day of Qiyamah, because he became khadim for the ahadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So I was saying that Talha radiyallahu ta'ala, he was given the half hair Mubarak from the head Mubarak of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the occasion of Hajjatul Wada, and he was treated because he deserved. He deserved that. What he did to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now he deserved. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him half, and half were distributed among the Sahaba, ridwanullahi ta'ala ajma'in, and they will continue. Then we come to Ba'ath Allah ta'ala. In this riwayat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept him in Makkah Mukarramah for 10 years, and in Medina Munawwara 10 years, and he passed away at the age of 60. Inshallah, we'll go through the commentary of these 2-3 sentences in coming days, in coming sabak of Shama'il. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us love of himself and love of his Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that dua become reality for ourselves, that, oh Allah, my Habib sallallahu, to him I belong to him my way of life and my lifestyle and everything of mine belongs to his teaching. And him and Sahaba, they are my Jamaat. The birds were flying. I am one of the leftover birds from those birds of Sahaba and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to be with them, that is my lifelong passion. That is for that, my heart is craving and my heart is dying. And that is my greatest ambition and desire and burning wish. Oh Allah, whenever my time comes, take my soul and connected to the Jama'at of Rasul Sallallahu and Sahaba Ridwanullahi Ta'ala Ajma'in. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.